absolute honor to be able to talk to you today. I just have to tell you that.
Oh, come on.
I'm a little starstruck. I am. So you've got what we wanted to talk about today. I know you've got a show coming up in Dallas. You know, that's just a few hours down the road from us. Before we talk about that, though, with me being a huge supporter of the local rock scene here, just a few questions I wanted to ask for the benefit of our local and regional bands, if you don't mind.
Okay.
All right. First off, what can a local band do to better itself professionally? So what have you learned over the years that you could tell them they could do?
All right. There's so many different things. I think the best thing is to get your material together. It's rock and roll. You're not supposed to take it too seriously and overthink it, but you got to make sure that you sort of got your gig down. You know, you can't sort of go up there and fall apart. You need to know your songs and that kind of thing. And the most important thing is just to play a lot so that you get the experience under your belt and just, so it becomes a little bit more second nature. Really, when it comes down to it, you sort of just got to do what it is that you do and go out and present it. I've never been one to think that you got to be too meticulous about it. You just got to be true to yourself and work hard, and do what you have to do to the point where you think that you're the best that you could possibly be.
As far as a number of songs, original music, what's a good number of songs to have when you're starting out, going around and playing your stuff?
It varies, man. It's like, sometimes you can get a gig. Only way you can get a gig is by doing covers, right? And then you sort of squeeze one of your originals in there and then get fired and go on to the next one. But, if you've got really good original songs and then, playing in clubs and whatnot, and you pepper it with some covers, I like that route better than having a cover set and sprinkling it with originals. But it depends on the gig itself. It depends on who's putting up the gig and what the gig is all about. If you're playing a fucking wedding, then you're not going to go over too well if you're just playing all original songs. But if you're playing in a bar and, and it's sort of like open situation, then, play a couple covers, but definitely get some originals in there, the best ones that you think people are going to really gravitate towards. And I think you just got to be smart about it and just pay attention to who your audience is and so on.
So what's the best advice you can give to a guitarist? You've been playing how long?
I don't even want to count.
How old were you when you first got serious about it?
I've been playing since I was 15, so that would be basically almost 40 years.
Wow.
35 years.
35?
I'm dating myself. Yeah.
What's your advice for a guitarist looking to go from hobbyist to paid professional?
Wow. Really just being involved in a band, either your own band that's got all the components in it necessary that you need to go out and play live, and just playing all the time. That's the main thing, is just getting into a band situation. If that's what you want. If you want to be in something where you're going to go up and play guitar acoustic in front of an audience by yourself, then that's another deal altogether. But if you're going to be in a band, you just got to get a band together or join a band or whatever and just, play as much as possible and, make an impression.
What should bands that are getting ready to tour for the first
time?
I've
never been asked these questions before. If you're getting ready, it's like I'm thinking back to a different era. things are so different right now.
Right.
For up-and-coming bands. It's almost like the Wild West. I don't even know what kind of advice to give. But one thing holds true. It's like if you're gonna go out and actually tour either as an opening band or you're touring clubs or something as a headlining band, chances are you've got material out there, and you just have to be professional. That's the best thing is know what you're doing and don't be a burden to whoever else you're working with, be it the headlining band or be it the crew or the promoter or the people who work in the venue, and just go and do your thing and, get in and get out, but kick ass while you're up there.
What do people need to watch out for when they're hitting the road? Some kind of roadblocks kind of things, You
know what? It's live and learn. I could say don't do this, don't do that, but it's not really applicable. You just got to pace yourself and just go and do it, and you'll make mistakes, but you'll learn from them, and sort of have to just wing it.
Right. So I understand you have quite an extensive guitar collection. About how many would you say you own?
Somewhere inside between 150 and 200. There's 100 of them that are like guitars that I use and I've collected a little over 100 because there's a lot of live stuff that I use and there's a lot of studio stuff that I use. And then I have a lot of stuff that I've picked up over the years, and being a pack rat that I am, I never throw anything away. I give some stuff to charity and whatnot, but I keep a lot of stuff that I'm not really sure what I'm doing with it. That's close to 200.
That's a lot. Do you have a favorite?
I have one guitar that is my go-to guitar in the studio, which I've been using since 1986. So I'd say that is something that's pretty close to my heart, that particular guitar. But, I mean, you have different guitars for different things, and so they're all equally important in that context.
Okay, another question just for my benefit. Where do you get those cool hats?
You know what? You can go into any hat shop and find one. Just a basic felt top hat.
Do you do anything to them when you get them?
No. I mean, I have a couple that are really old that I covered with leather just because they were so beat up. But I have one that I picked up just a few months ago, like I think it was even this year, if not the end of last year, that I picked up from Trash and Vaudeville in New York, which is just a rock shop, and it's just had a good cut to it. And I picked it up from my friend Jimmy that works there, and I've been wearing that for the last however many months.
Was there a reason why you chose the top hat?
I think because back in the day, I've always been like a hat guy. Like I'd always thought that the hat sort of completed the thing, the ensemble, but I never was 100% comfortable with anything that I would find around. I mean, back in the day, you just pick stuff up where you can get it. I didn't have any money. And I was walking down this Melrose, which is sort of like this shopping sort of street in L.A. And again, sans any currency. And I saw a top hat in the window, and I thought, oh, that would be cool. And I tried it on in the store and slipped out of the store with it. And it's just always been my thing since then.
You slipped out of the store with it.
Yeah. I did go back to pay them back, but they'd since shut down.